All right, what an absolutely beautiful morning here in the South Louisiana Marsh. Look at this sunrise. It's kind of fading a little bit, but on the way out here, man, it was absolutely beautiful. Got very little wind out of the northeast. Air's a little bit dry. It's supposed to be hot today, but not hot yet. I've come into an area I haven't fished in a while, but man, the water is absolutely gorgeous. Definitely like my chances in here. Hope this tide's moving. Kind of a waning tide today, but we'll see. All right, come along with us. Let's see what we can catch. All right, I'm on the edge of a big lake, but I'm a duck into this marsh. I'm gonna throw a bait that I like to throw this time of year. A Fish Lab flutter nymph, kind of a crazy looking bait, but looks really good in the water. And I know fish love it this time of year. Doesn't look like anything in our marshes, but I think our fish mistake it for a shrimp. That sun coming up right on the horizon, man, is that beautiful. Current time is 6:39. Sunrise is finally getting late. Now that we're in September, doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I love fall. Absolutely love fall fishing. My favorite time of year. So I'm heading into a bayou I've never fished before, but I did some map study and like the way it looks. We'll have to get into it to see if it's got appropriate depth. Now we'll back out and go find another one. And this whole marsh area is on the edge of the coast, which I definitely like this time of year because speckled trout are moving back inside and they use these bayous as highways to get back in. They don't come all at once. It takes a few weeks, but this is definitely the transition season from the outside back to the inside. So I like to kind of go and intercept them. Okay, so far this bayou looks pretty good. Right here, it's 4 feet. Definitely like that depth. There are some cuts ahead. I saw that on the map. Not a ton, but a few. And those will be the areas we'll focus on. Doesn't look like a ton of tidal movement yet, but what movement we do have is rising, pushing into this bayou. Okay, actually the tide's rising pretty good. That's good to see, and it's definitely rising. I think I failed to mention, but I got this flutter nymph on a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. With the depth of this bayou, looking like it's averaging about 4 feet. I could probably get away with a 1/8, but we'll see what we got in these little cuts. Probably gonna be a lot more water moving through those. So I'll be glad I got this 1/4 ounce to get down. And here's our first cut coming up. Yeah, it's 6.5 feet right here. I'm glad we got this 1/4 ounce. Ooh, there's a fish. Oh, I missed him. He hit me immediately. There's another one. Speckled trout. Yep, there we go. That was a good hit. All right, the question is he legal? I think he is. Speckled trout in South Louisiana now have to be 13 inches. And I think, man, I don't know. I'm having my doubts now. Croaking male. Man, this fish could not be closer, but not close enough. There's another one. That one feels foul hooked, or it's a red. No, it's a croaker. Everything down there. It's actually a keepable croaker. These fish are actually really good to eat. Used to be all anybody fished for here in South Louisiana. I'm gonna keep him. Look at this tight little bend right here. It's 7.5 feet deep. Really impressive bayou. We got a little run in coming in off that lake. This is definitely a prime looking area. 8 feet right here. All right, we got another cut coming up here on the right. We have fished some beautiful stuff with not a whole lot to show for it. I haven't been in this bayou very long, maybe about 15 minutes, but I should have caught more fish. We don't do anything in this cut. We're gonna turn around, fish our way out, and try and find something different. It's too pretty of a day not to be whacking the fish. Oh, there's a fish. Small trout. What's up, little guy? Super spotted, really beautiful fish. It's gonna make somebody's day when he grows up. That's the thing when you're fishing inside water in September. You're gonna catch some small fish for sure. You hope to find some good keepers as well, but you're definitely gonna have to pick through them. All right, I don't like to fish the same bait going out of a bayou that I fished coming in, so I'm gonna throw this shrimp creole matrix shad on a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. Oh, that's a good fish. Don't know what this is. Probably a small red. Or another croaker, who knows? Or a foul hook speckled trout, which is what it is. Sorry, dude, hooked you right in the head. Doesn't look like I brained you, though. I know you're not 13, but I'm gonna check you anyway, dude. You are not. There's one. Another trout. Another foul hook trout. Oh, look at that shrimp. That was a giant shrimp. Big old white shrimp. Something was hitting him. Look at the bait moving into this bayou. Hopefully you can see that. Here's kind of my thought process. I really like the look of this bayou. I thought we'd do better in here, particularly when we found the depth that we found. But this is what I'm thinking. Oh, there we go. Oh, I missed him. I think that was a red. He was hooked up for a minute. Here's what I'm thinking. The water in that lake, when I stopped, was absolutely gorgeous. In this bayou, it's not gorgeous. It's not horrible. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a trout. There's some trout in here for sure. They're just not big. Oh, there's another shrimp popping. Something chasing him. So what I'm thinking is we're really early in this tide. So that outside water from that lake's gonna push in here, and this water's gonna clean up a lot. And you can see that bait definitely moving in here with that tide. This bayou will probably be good later, even though it's just mediocre at the moment. Starting to see some shrimp popping, and when I kind of came in this way, no shrimp, and not much bait either. And now there's lots of bait moving in. Just had a school of mullet move through. Nice finger mullet, perfect eating size. Those fish are gonna follow them for sure. But I may go buy some time and just fish that lake shoreline, waiting for things to improve in here. Either come back in here or a different bayou. There's a bunch along this lake shoreline. Oh, some teal. 4 teal, look at that. That's good to see. That's a sign of the transition. First teal I've seen this year. All right, here we are on that lake shoreline. Got some definite rollers on this lake. Wind seems dead right now, but obviously it blew last night. Got some residual rollers coming into the shoreline. Water's definitely got a little more color than I thought earlier. So I'm gonna throw this green hornet matrix shad on a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. And I'm just gonna work it. Oh, look at that, a shrimp. Something's hitting a shrimp right here. Oh, smoke me. I know what that is. Another trout. I'm gonna fish this shoreline, mostly for redfish, but believe me, it's quite likely we'll run across some speckled trout. Oh, there's one. That's another trout. They're just everywhere. I think that's a keeper. Yeah, there we go. Our first keeper trout of the day. That's about a 14, maybe even 15 incher. All right. Don't mind these guys at all. I actually got 2 hits on that cast, missed the first one. Connected on that one. Water temp is 83, so you would expect to get a lot more bites and connections. These fish are gonna be super aggressive, gonna be swatting the bait. As much trying to kill it as anything. In a situation like this, you wouldn't expect those trout to be schooled up. They're just working this shoreline looking for shrimp. You know, of course, if you come across a cut, you might find a little school there, particularly if the tide were falling. But even on a rising tide, I'll definitely pay more attention to the cuts than just a flat bank like this. All right, for some reason, some really, really dirty water has moved in on us. It went from okay to really bad. So I don't like that. Don't like fishing dirty water at all. So I'm gonna make a kind of a big move. See what else I can find. Definitely on the hunt for some better water. All right, I made a big move. And at this point, I'm grateful I did. The water's dramatically better. Dramatically. Oh, yes. Very, very glad to see it. Doesn't mean we'll necessarily catch fish, but I got a lot more confidence now. This is the water clarity that I love to fish. Oh, first cast. Is that a ladyfish? It sure was. Well, that's an ominous sign. You saw in my last video, I was fishing the beach in Perdido, Florida. Had a hard time getting out the ladyfish. There's another one. That is a, I don't know what that was. I think another lady. Oh, wow. Hits every cast. Probably ladyfish. There's a bayou up ahead that we can scoot into. Hopefully that'll have prettier water coming in from this lake. This shoreline is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, another lady. Got them by the millions. Thankfully, they're very, very good at throwing hooks because they're super slimy. It's the type of slime you can't get off your hands. And they also love to do big number 2s in your boat. All right, we got to speed up through here. I'm getting bites every cast, but there's no doubt in my mind it's ladyfish. Based on the 3 or 4 that I've gotten a hook into. Man, there is some significant bait along this shoreline. Lots and lots, but lots and ladyfish. It's so funny how trash fish are always so easy to find. Never have any issues finding trash fish. Although I always wonder, like if you targeted hardheads, it just seems like you'd never have trouble finding them, but maybe you would, who knows? Is that a trout or a lady? Don't know. Might be a trout. No, it's not a trout. It's some kind of jack. I think it's a little Jack Crevalle. That's not a fish I typically catch. Yeah, it's a little jack, little baby Jack Crevalle. I think that might be another speck, but he's not a big one. He's about 12 and a half, a little bigger than I thought he was, but not big enough. I'm getting bites absolutely every cast. My assumption is always that it's a ladyfish, but obviously there's some specks in the mix as well. And who knows, maybe we'll run across some reds as well. When you find pretty moving water in the fall, and I consider anything after September 1st a fall, it's gonna be full of life. And a ladyfish ate off my tail. That might be a trout. I think it is a trout. It feels like a decent one too. Oh, a little red. That's why he felt decent. Look at this guy. Great to see these around. It's about a 12-inch red or so. A couple years ago, we weren't catching any of these. Glad they're back. Man, what a difference in action in this pretty water. Crazy. I mean, you kind of know it, but such a variance between that off water that we fished on the shoreline of the same lake and this really, really pretty water. This is just full of fish. Not all of them desirable, obviously. Oh, what is that one? It's not big, but I think it's a trout. Yep, little trout. I mean, every cast I'm getting a bite from something. Just don't know what. Believe me, it'd be nice to be in some 14, 15-inch trout or some 18, 19-inch reds. But still, it's a lot of fun. And you never know, we're gonna find something, I would hope. Oh, goodness. It's just every cast. What are you? It's like a variety pack. Oh, he came off. That felt like a decent fish, too. I think it was a keeper trout, but who knows? Oh, I don't think that is. This is a small one, whatever he is. This is not a big fish. That was a small trout. Goodness. There's just 100 right there. That's something decent. That's a red. There we go. There we go. We got to back off of that spot. There's a bunch of fish right there. Pretty sure this is a keeper red. He's not a giant, but I'm pretty sure he's over the 18-inch minimum. Oh yeah, he definitely is. A little bigger than I thought. Beautiful fish. Come on, big guy. I'm gonna net you so we don't lose you. You done? All right, we got him. About a 19-inch red, I'd say. Should definitely be a keeper. We're gonna put him on the tape just to be sure. Look how deep he took that bait. He wanted that matrix shad. We had to get some pliers. All right, yeah, this guy's 19 inches. He's definitely a keeper, so we're gonna throw him in the box. All right, I'm certainly grateful that fish was a keeper because he took the bait really deep. Got down in his crushers. Oh, there's another one. That's a little trout. Nope, that's a pinfish. We're catching all kinds today. Look at the jacks jumping. I mean, automatic when you throw in there. This has got to be a little trout. Yep, really little. There you go. Nice getting on a bite like that when it's bigger fish. Oh, what are you? Might be a more sizable trout. It's a more sizable something. Oh, flounder, beautiful flounder. Am I gonna hoist him? Or am I going to net him? I think I'm gonna hoist him. It looks like he's hooked deep. All right, there we go. We got him. My favorite marsh fish. My favorite bycatch in the marsh, I'll say that. Always grateful to get a flounder. And this dude took it deep as well. You can see he's bleeding. Flounder are super mean. They love to bite you. So you gotta be really careful when they got it deep like this. Look how deep he's got it. All right, love getting these guys. This is, you know, pretty decent flounder. You can call him a doormat, certainly, but he'll hold some stuffing. These fish are all stacked in this little pocket right here. Don't know why. But that red and the flounder both took the bait really deep, which is a sign that there's a lot of fish right there. They feel like they gotta attack it quickly. Unfortunately, after I got that flounder in the boat, my boat got really close to that. So we may have spooked everything out of there. We'll make a few casts to find out. All right, the bad news is I think we spooked all the fish out that cove. Oh, except that ladyfish. The good news is that shouldn't be the last one. Look at the shrimp, look. Oh, he smoked me, probably a lady. Oh, let's see. Yep, ladyfish. All right, we'll keep working down our shoreline. We'll see if that cove was a fluke or if that's kind of a pattern. Got another little cove right here. We got a few ahead of us. I mean, as soon as it hit the water, it's got to be a small trout. It ain't big, I know that. Young, dumb, and full of testosterone. Croaking male. Man, I tell you what, this would have been a great day to take a kid. Kind of learn how to detect bites with artificial baits. It's all these small males. They're super aggressive and they're absolutely everywhere. Of course, you never know if those are fish that are moving back in or if they're fish that just stayed. Whoa! What are you? I don't know what this is. He feels more substantial. I think he's a red. Think he's a red. Yep, pretty confident now. Pretty confident. This guy is a redfish. Kind of wishing I'd retie that bait. After it was down in that flounder's gullet, wouldn't be surprised if I broke off here. All right, Todd, promise yourself when you get this fish in, if you get him in, that you're gonna retie that bait. I think he's a red about the same size as the one we caught. Maybe 19 inches, somewhere in there, maybe 20. Oh no, he's bigger than that. Yeah, he's definitely bigger than that. He's bigger than I thought he was. Oh yeah, he's about 24 maybe. 23, 24. All right, we got another one. All right. I can't tell you how good the action is along the shoreline. I've been fishing maybe 15 minutes. It's a bite every cast. Definitely got some bruisers like this mixed in. I mean, it's not a bruiser. It's about a 23, maybe 22, 23 inch red mixed in with all these small trout, ladyfish, and obviously even flounder. This guy, a little bit on the big side, but I think I'm gonna keep him. Oh yeah, this line's shot. Definitely time to retie. All right, I can now see the bottom here, and it's full of shells. It's beautiful. You know, bait loves shells, and therefore game fish love shells. Whether they're clam shells, oh goodness, right away. Whether they're clam shells like these or oyster shells, these look like all rangy clam shells. I don't know if you can see these white birds up on the shoreline. That's always a good sign. Well, they're leaving because I'm talking loud, but they're there for a reason. It's a good sign that there's bait fish in the area, or shrimp. Oh goodness, I threw in that fish's mouth. Another ladyfish, speckled trout. Hasn't come up yet. Might be a trout. I think it's a trout. I think it's a nice trout. Or a small red maybe? I don't know, who knows? I'd like to see him. Oh, it's a good red. It's not a small red. He must have been just swimming at me. I threw in that fish's mouth. Right in his mouth. Yeah, that's a good fish. So crazy when they're swimming at you, you just can't tell how big they are. All right, we're gonna try and flip him. All right, we got him. Definite keeper. All part of that 2001 year class. These fish are all keepers now. Definitely a great spawn in 2001. Abundant fish. See how big he is. He's about 19 and a half or 20. But it's funny, those reds and trout are all mixed in with those ladies. I mean, they're all there for the same reason. Bait. Definitely enjoying this clear water. This wind is picking up substantially. I'm protected where I am right now, but I'm gonna have a nasty run back. Definitely need to pay attention to it. If it gets any stronger at all, I gotta call this trip. Much as I don't want to, when you search around and find a bite like this, you definitely want to stay on it as long as you can. But maybe we get another fish or two along this shoreline. I'm fishing on a Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. Supposedly the next couple days are going to be really nasty here in South Louisiana. Lots and lots of rain, thunderstorms. And then on Friday, we've got a cool front, first of the year. That'll probably drive out a lot of these ladyfish, depending on how strong it is. It looks like it's going to be pretty strong. Ladyfish do not like cold water. Will it be cold enough to drive out the hardheads and gaff tops? Probably not. They'll stick around a little longer. I think that's a speck. Yeah, I hear him croaking all the way on the way in. Hopefully you survive till next year so you can spawn. That grunt will drive the girls crazy. So we found a few decent trout on this trip. You don't expect to really whack really good trout in September in inside waters. Not impossible, but just very unlikely. But that's going to begin to change with every passing day. More and more will move inside. And definitely this weekend's front will help. All right, much as I don't want to, I'm going to have to go ahead and call this trip. The wind just continues to pick up. I gotta take my medicine getting back. I'm gonna really have to run slowly. But it was worth it. No regrets. Fast action over here. I mean, heck, at least half the bites were from ladyfish, but a bunch of game fish as well. And that's just gonna improve with every passing day. So glad fall is here. Just love the next 4 months of fishing. Just love it. So looking forward to it. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's a good trout. I think it's a trout. I mean, he came up like a trout, but now he's acting like a red. I don't know what he is. Oh, it's a beautiful flounder. Oh, goodness. It's a doormat. Don't throw it, dude. Don't throw. He's trying to throw it. Come on, this way. All right, we got him. Double flounder. Double boat flip flounder. All right. I'd say I catch about a dozen flounder a year. So to catch 2 in one day is definitely welcomed. Man, this dude took it so deep as well. Look at that. Yes. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And hopefully we'll see you again next time. But until then, we don't see you in the marsh. We'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.